women shouldn't be playing cricket.
Why have they got a girl playing?
Someone's sister's turned up and has borrowed someone's white.
I can't get bowled out by a girl.
Get back in the kitchen. I've been part of a cricket club called Haywood for all of my life. I grew up in a very sporting family. My older brother needed a little bowler in the back garden so that he could practice his batting. So when I was 6 or 7, he taught me how to bowl. I started playing cricket down at Haywood when I was around probably 9 going into the under-11s. But I was the only girl. You know, I was the one that stood out and there was always comments. In a way, I think that gave me the motivation to want to do well because I wanted to prove people wrong and that girls could play cricket.
I never ever thought cricket would be my career. There was not really any role models for me growing up in the women's game. Playing club level cricket and at school I was literally the only girl. Didn't really bother me, but I think like looking back the experience was so obviously different to what it is today, and I think playing with the boys really challenged me and made me a better cricketer. Yeah, I'm really glad it was a part of my journey, but I think it's amazing now that girls have got a real clear pathway and they're able to play girls cricket from a young age.
Emirates Old Trafford is the home of Lancashire cricket, steeped in history, steeped in tradition. It's always a wonderful place to come, even though I've been here for 35 years plus. When I played, it was just the men's team that played. The women's game has grown bigger and bigger and stronger year on year. The opportunities for young women now in the game is second to none. We talk about the diversity and the equal opportunities for women in sport, and I think here at Lancashire we're probably one of the forerunners in making that as equal as possible. Can you remember your first time you walked out on here?
I remember walking down the steps of the dressing room being like, oh my god, it's huge, and thinking how big it was. I also remember the first 100 game that I played here. It was full and I was like, oh my god, there's so many people here, this is amazing. Like as females, we've got a completely different body to a male, and I think that's something that's in its infancy in research, and we've got an incredible group of sports science staff here who Hilton have really helped fund that are actually doing some really good stuff in terms of, yeah, what does it look like for females, training schedules, what's the impact of a menstrual cycle on a female athlete. There's a lot of really good work going on behind the scenes, and I think it's something that is developing. So it's great that Hilton have been able to support us at Lancashire with that.
I actually took a little break from cricket, not knowing if I'd come back to it. I really struggled with the idea that my hobby had become my job overnight. It was probably one of the best things that had happened to me because I was able to revisit why I play the game. I was able to kind of remember that little girl in the back garden with a brother who was able to just love the game. I think being outwardly honest about how you're feeling and what you're going through just reminds everyone that you're a human being at the end of the day. And I know that Hilton have offered more funding to support the girls around their psychological well-being, so it goes to show how important that space is in sport now.
You have got your own section, that's pretty cool.
When you're trying to think about your performances, if someone can take that stress away from you in terms of your financial situation, then it makes such a difference.
From what Hilton have done towards women's cricket, especially here at Emirates Old Trafford and Lancashire cricket, is amazing. It enables the girls to have the best facilities, have the best coaching, have the best opportunities to further their game.
This feels like Hilton know how important it is that females get to have opportunities. They've probably changed the game for what sponsorship looks like in the female space.
We want equality of opportunity, and that's now what we're leaning towards. And Hilton are even investing in grassroots cricket by investing in a schools officer, which is actively getting more women and girls into cricket in the Northwest from a younger age.
It genuinely is the best part of what I do, is being able to be a role model for young kids. Like when you see little kids in the crowd with your name and number on their shirt, it just blows me away still.
To try and be that sort of role model and try and pave the way and inspire the next generation. I think we've all got a responsibility to do that when we're in the game now, and I think that's a pretty exciting place to be.
There's obviously so much more money in the game now that allows people to just be cricketers. That's where Hilton have been incredible because they've taken that pressure off a lot of girls. The moments that you get from sport are the best things that will ever happen to you. And the fact that these young kids coming through now have got this to look forward to is just so exciting.